Hey guys, I'm in section 8.4 doing objective number 3 on page 20, the final page of our chapter 8 notes. So again, I'm in the filled out notes. You can find those on my essay. And my main intention is to show you the calculator work here. Big idea. When we ask you guys to form confidence intervals, we're asking you to estimate something. So as opposed to testing a claim, whether P1 differs from P2, less than P2, or greater than P2, we'd like to actually estimate how large the difference is between two population proportions. So we do that in the same fashion we've done for other confidence intervals with a point estimate plus or minus a margin of error. So the point estimate is simply the difference in the two sample proportions, p hat 1 minus p hat 2, and the margin of error equation looks like this. Since this is somewhat tedious to calculate out by hand, I'm only doing a technology example here for you. So the calculator is going to provide me the left endpoint with the point estimate minus the margin of error, and the calculator is going to give me the point estimate plus the margin of error. And where is it going to do that? In the stat test menu, way down at option B, it's called the 2prop zint. Similarly to the z-test, I have 4 quantities to input as well as a confidence level. So if I go down here in this chunk, my main intention interpreting the interval is to let you know once again that the job of an interval is to provide a range of plausible values for the difference between the two population proportions. We're using data from a sample to make some inference, statistical inference about the two population proportions. Now in this case, the endpoints could both be positive, both negative, or one negative, one positive. So in those situations, two positives, remember the intervals for P1 minus P2, so that means two positives, the first proportion would be between blank and blank greater than the second one. Two negatives, it would mean that the first proportion is blank and blank less than the other one. I could twist the sentence as well to say that the second proportion is blank and blank greater than the first proportion. Okay, and then finally, if I have a 1 negative, 1 positive, it's that inconclusive scenario because now the first proportion could be anywhere from blank less to blank greater than the second one. So for my example here, I've got students who took the SAT. They answered a questionnaire about what they plan to study. In a recent survey, 10,000 students, 18% were planning to study health fields. And 10 years ago, a survey of 8,000 students, 16% were planning on studying health fields. I do have to summarize the data so that I know how to use the calculator inputs. The calculator is not going to ask us for this number 18%. I must know that the calculator is going to ask me for X1. How many yeses or successes are there in group 1? So in the recent survey, 18% of 10,000 would be 1,800 people saying they wanted to study health-related fields. In the survey 10 years ago, N2 is 8,000, P2 hat was 16%, so 16% of 8,000 is 1,280. So let's go over here in the stat test menu. Notice that if you don't see the word prop, this is an inference procedure about a mean. The first 6 of them do the tests. The next set of 6 do the intervals. So we're down here at letter B looking at the 2prop zint. If it says prop, it's an inference procedure about a proportion. If it says samp or nothing, it's an interval procedure about a mean. Every inference procedure about a proportion has PROP in its title. So you select that, and it's going to ask me X1 and N1, X2 and N2. So using my X1, I have 1,800 out of 10,000. Notice I cannot put a percent here. It has to be a count. 1,800 out of 10,000. All right, in group 2, it's 1,280 out of 8,000. Confidence level is 0.90. And then let's go calculate those endpoints. Okay, so I copied down the endpoints, 0.01076 and 0.02924, and that's roughly 1%. If I change that back to a percentage, to 2.9%. So I can make a statement that I'm 90% confident that the recent proportion of students who want to study health fields is 0.01 to 0.029, meaning 1% to 2.9% greater, right? Two positive endpoints, the first proportion is greater than the second one. So it's greater now than the proportion 10 years ago. All right, that ends chapter 8. It ends section 8.4, objective number 3. Hope that all helped. 3 problems for homework are due for this section on Wednesday, what is that, April 23rd, I guess. No, Wednesday, April 22nd.